So here we go. We are live with Igor Štimac, and I can say Igor Štimac, Indian national coach till 2026 and beyond. Fingers crossed, because that has finally been done today. Coach, congratulations. All done and dusted. You're staying on as Indian national coach. First thoughts.
Thank you very much. Very much to you, to everyone who was very supportive and very positive about what's been done in the past. Also, big appreciation to everyone involved in AIFF, in our football house, for understanding the process and showing the trust and belief in what we do. This was really important for me. As you can see, negotiations took a little bit longer than we all expected, but many things were discussed, many things were approached from a very serious way from both sides, and at the end we agreed upon the future work for next 2.5 years, I would say, until the June of 2026, with the option to extend for another 2 years if we succeed in qualifying for the third round of the World Cup, which is a great. So one very, very positive thing for Indian football future. We have a stable time in front of us to sort out many things, to eliminate the differences, to bring everything at stake for Indian football future for its sake.
So what's the vision, coach? I mean, because clearly every time I've asked you this question, it has come to the fact that let things happen, because obviously things are not perfect yet. But going forward, and credit to AIFF, to Kalyan, to Shaji, to everybody involved, because it happens from both sides. You extended a hand, they did so. All the stakeholders, whether it is AIFF, whether it is you, whether it is FSDL, everybody needs to come together for the sake of Indian football. What is your vision now, coach, going forward?
Listen, going back a couple of months, I think that everyone understands now why I was speaking a little bit harder than usual, and speaking clearly about what needs to be done for the sake of the national team and the football in India, and I wanted everyone to understand that I don't want to put myself in a position to be judged on the results of the Asian Cup without given time for a proper preparation. And obviously everyone at the football house, together with our dear president, Mr. Kalyan, and General Secretary Shaji, and everybody in the executive committee, understood really well the message I was sending there. And they showed the trust and they showed the faith in the work which has been produced in the past 4.5 years. So I have all reasons to trust them that the things will change in the near future in regards to the national team and its needs.
Okay, so let's break this down. Let's break this down into two parts now. One, in the immediate future, you are leaving for Malaysia and Merdeka Cup and all of that. But more importantly, you have the World Cup qualifiers in November. How are you looking at it? Because all of India will look at that Kuwait match, for example, because if we are able to pull that out in Bhubaneswar, we have a chance. How are you looking at the World Cup qualifiers?
That will be different, obviously. We need to travel to Kuwait and face the opening game of World Cup qualifiers, very strong side and competitive side, which we faced a couple of times in the recent past. So it's not going to be easy. We are well aware that we're not going to be provided the needed time for a longer preparation, but somehow our hopes are there that we can hold on and we can survive in the next 2 FIFA windows, which are bringing World Cup qualifying games to us, that we're not going to lose the race and that we're going to be successful at the end qualifying for the third round. So somehow we need to overcome the actual problems until the end of this football season, end of the March, and from then on we expect greater things to happen in the favor of the national team and to have much more time for a preparation and better results.
Okay, so clearly from what I understand, that you will have more time in the next window, because obviously AIFF will try to get that in their negotiations with FSDL also. But one more question on the FIFA qualifiers. You are going to play in Bhubaneswar on 21st of November. Your thoughts on that? Bhubaneswar has been a strong support for Indian sport, not simply football. The government of Odisha is doing fantastic for Indian sport, and that Kalinga Stadium will be buzzing. Are you happy with the choice of venue? Bhubaneswar, and your thoughts on that match on home soil.
Listen, also, we don't have many options if we speak about home soil grounds, which are a license for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. You know that how happy we were at Bhubaneswar, how comfortable we were with the facilities there, how much we enjoyed working there and preparing there. But this time we don't have time for preparation, you know, because we're going to be playing in Kuwait on 16th of November. Next day we need to travel via Dubai back to Orissa, and we're going to have only a couple of days time to prepare for the Qatar game, which will be very difficult one against the actual Asian champions. But we are not afraid to face them, to be honest. You know, we're gonna get ready with as many days as we have on the table, and make the best out of it. So since 2019 we are undefeated at home. We're going to try to keep that run going on.
That is actually why I asked, because Sunil Chetri, in an interview after the Asian Games, the same night when you spoke to Rohan, my colleague in China, Sunil said we are now a team which is very strong at home. We know how to play at home. Away record needs to improve, but at home we are a strong side. So at home against Qatar, do you see ourselves fighting? Because clearly, if we are able to put up a fight after that Kuwait match, it will be good.
No, absolutely. I'm very about our home performances, about mindset, about mentality when we play home games. But I am more focused now on changing our approach in away games, which were very unsuccessful, to be honest. And the FIFA windows were killing us. You know that throughout pandemic, nearly 2 years, full 2 years, we were just going to play away games to face Arab teams in Arab countries. You know, we had difficulties with visas, with the travels, with everything. And it was not easy, but now we are somehow uh, stabilizing what needs to be planned on time, how we need to approach preparations for such games, which are very important for the Indian football future.
Okay. Couple of things, coach. In China, you went with a very young team, obviously scrap team put together. Some players did not travel, and all of that happened. I don't want to go back to that, but in a positive thing, you had mentioned two players who had caught your attention. You had said you will speak after the Asian Games thing. So, okay, Vinay Pavaskar says, Jai Ho, Igor coach. Jai Ho, you know by now. He says, celebrate us, coach. Jai Hind, lead us, boss. Devojyoti Biswas. That's the coach says, more good times await. Snehashish Mukherjee. All positive comments coming in for Igor Štimac. That's the kind of euphoria this man has brought to Indian football. Keep sending your comments. We'll take your questions. But, coach, you mentioned two players who had caught your attention in China. Who are the players? Can you reveal? And your thoughts on who are the youngsters?
Listen, they were all there because what they went through and how they committed themselves to defend the country colors was amazing. But in regards to the quality, which I could see in only few training sessions and throughout the games, and you can see obviously already on the list for Merdeka Cup, there is Chunga, who is stabilizing his position in the senior national team. I think that we can have a good prospect center back for the future within him. Putting some more work needs to be done there about positioning and defending, but he looks very confident on the ball, which I like and which is needed in our game. And we need more options at the center back positions, you know, in any case. The two others which I liked very much from what I have seen there, and I didn't have a situation to meet them before, were Abdul Rabi and James Lingdon. And these boys have some serious talent which needs to be followed by the serious work within them, you know, on individual basis, not with the team when they enjoy the practice with their respective clubs and coaches, but lots of individual work is needed there to make sure that their talent can be recognized.
Okay, let me take some more questions because there's a flood of comments coming your way. People don't clearly want me to speak. They want to ask you questions. Shopnil, my producer, can flash some of the comments. Ayush Dahiya, coach, who can lead India after Sunil? Do you want to address that? Why after Sunil? Let's celebrate Sunil.
Listen, we do have three captains in our team. Alongside Sunil, there is Andre Jingan and Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. So if we speak about leading the team, but we are talking who will score goals. We already proven that without Sunil we are able to produce goals, to create chances, and to gain the results. So until that happens, I don't need to think about it. But whenever Sunil is not capable of joining us or being with us, we have solutions. We have proven that.
Okay. So clearly, okay, Rahul Giri, coach, do you have any plans about grassroots development in this tenure of yours?
No, as you could witness today, I insisted on Mahesh Gowli taking charge of under 23, which is a new generation of 19, 20, 21-year-old boys, which will be strongly connected to the philosophy of the senior national team. And I will be supervising this work and helping Mahesh in obtaining the needed job there to prepare these boys, so they don't face any problems when there is a time for them to join the senior national team.
Coach, if I know right, you had given a presentation. Vinay Pavaskar, only Igor can change Indian football. Fingers crossed, Igor alone can't. It has to be a collective thing, Vinay. I appreciate that. But AIFF, Igor Štimac, the players, FSDL, you guys, fans, everyone needs to pitch in. Himanshu, sir, your thoughts about Parthiv Gogoi, we'll take that. Coach, you had mentioned to me that you had given a presentation to AIFF in July. And you had also insisted on sports science, inclusion of certain things. Can you enlighten me about that? How important that is? Not simply you need a support team going forward. What is the development on that front?
Well, development is quite clear because from the contract extension is quite obvious that there were no talks about pay rise, about foreign coaches which are here with Indian football team. We discussed the stable solution for the rest of the staff, mentioning Mahesh Gowli, team manager Velu Damyani, and Shyamal Vanabi, who is our performance coach. So we sorted out that. I'm quite sure about stabilizing the staff, which is working with me, which is very important for me. These are the people I trust. I want nearby me, and I want to make sure that they are happy and paid as it needs to be. So this was the priority for me, to make sure that these people are happy.
Okay, let's take a couple more. Shopnil, can you fire? There are hundreds of questions coming. Let's take some more. Igor will make history in football and father of Indian football. That's again not a question, that's a comment. Ayush, coach, don't you think our under 19, under 23 should get camp in Europe for better development?
No, absolutely. They need. I mean, I will do as much as possible to implement philosophy of the senior national team into underage groups, whenever it's possible. And there needs to be strong connection between my position and underage positions there. So, but that's about planning. That's about sitting around the table together and discussing things which needs to be changed and done for the better sake of the Indian football future. Although the very important thing and very important part is for our followers, for our supporters to understand. I would love to share this happiness with you, but I don't have time to be happy because I am carrying huge responsibility on my shoulders together with my staff now. We need to work really hard. We need to plan precisely. We need to make sure that we are not counting days, that the days count for us. So everything needs to be done perfectly from now on, at least until the end of March. And then hopefully we're going to start breathing easier in regards to the national team needs. So I just ask the fans, don't expect miracles over the night. It will not happen. Football is not about luck. Football is about making good and proper choices at certain times. So I'm quite sure that I made a great choice continuing here with the Indian football team. I have strong feelings about India, about my players, about football followers, about football awakening in India. And it's something which you cannot leave. It's something which you cannot leave, and that's something I'm well connected to now, and I will do everything possible for us to succeed. But believe me, it will not happen over the night. It takes years of hard work and planning.
No question. I mean, no sport sort of happens overnight. That's a good question, coach. Do you think that team needs to play more higher ranked opponents frequently for better preparation? Snehashish Mukherjee is asking.
No, absolutely, it needs to be, but also we need to be very careful how we plan our exposures. You know that in regards to actual FIFA regulations, we have 5 FIFA windows which are allowing us to play 10 football games per season. Apart from that, we have possibility of organizing certain exposure for the national team, all ages, throughout May and June when there is no ISL or I League played. So we're going to do the best out of it with the planning and with making sure that this planning contains everything necessary for India team to go higher the ranks. Because as you could witness in our latest exposure, one simple but huge referee mistakes takes away from you 5 FIFA ranking spots, and there is nothing you can do about it. We had Iraq on a plate to defeat the Arab Golf champion, actual champion, at the King's Cup tournament, going to the final and possibly winning the cup. Instead of that, we finished fourth because of one huge mistake from the referee from that games. But at the end of the day, that makes huge misery for you, because instead of going at the rankings to 95, 103, so we need to be very careful how we plan our exposures.
Okay, there's another question. I will ask that question. Coach, do you plan special camp for strikers? Okay, if you want to take that, but more importantly, coach, Asian Cup in January is something in Doha that all of us are waiting for. Again, I know you will not have adequate time this particular year or this time round, but what is a realistic thing? I mean, because a lot of my correspondents will travel, all of us are expecting, we expect miracles. That is how human beings are. We are optimistic people. What is realistic from the World Cup qualifiers, from the Asian Cup? What is realistic for fans to expect? I don't want you to, I mean, I'm just asking you to be pragmatic with us.
The best handle things is to stay realistic. If you look realistically, if you ask Australians, Syrians, or Uzbekistanis what they think about it, they will put India on the fourth position in the group. But football is amazing sport. Football is something which is giving you chances. Never mind what ranking position you occupy and who you're facing and who you're playing against. So that's where we are looking at our chance. Even we know now that there will be only 10-day camp prior to the Asian Cup. We are not giving up. So we're going to use these 10 days in the best possible way to prepare the team to face Australia first, Uzbekistan second, and Syria third, to get the 4 points needed to progress from the group stage.
Okay. Last few minutes, but I will utilize these last few minutes. I mean, one point, coach, your players love you. I mean, every player I have spoken to, be it Sandesh Jhingan, be it Sunil Chetri, whoever I have spoken to have said fantastic things about you. What have your players said once they got to know about the contract extension? Be honest and tell me, what are the messages that you have received from your boys?
I love them more.
But what are they saying? What are they saying? What have the players said?
Listen, I have no secrets in front of my players. And I told you several times already that I discuss everything with them. They are my family. Because when I'm here, they are the only people I have. And I share everything with them. And I could clearly see that they are worried about the future, because they could see that I'm kind of a first time thinking of walking away from everything, because we were at that position, at that situation. They could clearly see that I feel desperate to help Indian football, but not given enough tools to do it. And now when everything is sorted, I'm quite sure that they are happy, and God bless them all. Just let's make sure they stay fit and able to help the team when the time comes.
There's a question, how do you see Malaysia? We are facing them on the 13th. What are your expectations?
Really difficult game expecting us. Malaysia played in September FIFA window 2 high-ranked opponents, China and Syria. They drew both games, 1-1 and 2-2, proving that they are very competitive side, very unpleasant playing at home soil. So it's not going to be easy at all. But somehow I hope that we can run based on the work provided throughout May and June when we were winning these tournaments, which was clearly proven against Iraq, that we can keep this composure. But the level of intensity needed for such kind of football which we were playing in June is missing there. That's the problem when we have shortcomings.
Last few couple of minutes, coach. Congrats, make our team great. That's Rishi Kumar. Absolutely, Rishi. All of us, great coach. One gaming, yes. That is why we want him to stay on for as long as possible. Abhishek Rajput, best coach for Indian football. The questions and comments keep flooding, and that's how good this man is. AIFF has done well. Once again, putting it on record. AIFF, it is a synergy. Obviously they have to take two steps forward. Things don't come easy. That is how this marriage has happened, and that is good for Indian football. Coach, last comments. Hand on heart, how hopeful? You said at some point in time, top 80 in the world. We've got some time, provided the changes that have been promised happen. Are we looking at a brighter future for Indian football? You now know the system. You've been here for 4.5 years. You've seen the talent that there is. Obviously, you will have to do a lot more. But how hopeful can we be long term for Indian football?
Listen, we are in grave danger because those nations chasing us are much closer to us than us to those we are chasing. So from that perspective, it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be easy. That's why I'm requesting everyone to be well aware about what needs to be done for the sake of Indian football future. We are ready to commit ourselves 1,000,000%, but we need others also to help us, because I have such a strong faith in our youngsters. We have a very young team, believe me. We have only few senior team players there, but the rest of the team is 22, 21, 23. We can stay with this team for another 8, 9, 10 years. And with given tools which are there available to us, with little bit more time for preparation, we can make very strong team, one very powerful team which can compete anywhere in Asia against anyone, believe me.
I'll leave you there. It's the start of Pujo in Calcutta. I was actually in Kumatuli where the goddess Durga is made. And can't be a better day. Can't be a better day. I was seeking her blessings for the Indian cricket team as we start our World Cup cricket quest. We've seen what India has done at the Asian Games. It's our best Asian Games ever. Close to 90 medals and counting. And this day with Indian football, your contract extension. Absolutely brilliant day for Indian sport in that sense. And all I will say is, you are good for sport. You are good for Indian football. And I wish you all the best. I know it will not be pleasant, but that's sport. And you have never shied away from challenges. Take the challenge head on. The whole of India will be with you. Passionate, committed, dedicated, and all the love for you. Final comments for your fans. They've stayed with you. In good and bad, Indian football fans have stayed with you.
First, I would like to congratulate all athletes bringing medals to this country from Asian Games. I'm sorry we couldn't help you there adding our medal to all collection. Maybe next time when the things change, but we are proud on all of you, and what we can promise from our point of view is that we're going to commit ourselves 1,000,000% and work really hard for Indian football to become very successful in the future.
Fantastic. Sorry for the bad words in the past. We don't understand you and your philosophy at that time, but now we are all with you. Debojyoti Biswas, that's how it should be. You wanted the betterment of Indian football, you said, but today you are in agreement. That's how fans are. Once you realize that someone is good, you commit to that. Prashant Saha, one of the best coaches we've had. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. The comments keep flooding, but I can't have Igor Štimac waiting more. Thank you very much, coach, for your time. Appreciate you traveling again. Go to Malaysia, have a great time. Go back home, recharge your batteries, come back, and look forward to having you in Kolkata celebrating together with some Bengali food and mishti over Pujo. Thank you very, very much.